Da, da, theme song, theme song. Da, da, da. I'm Tanya,
I'm Nikki.
and we're A Thousand Eyes in One, the
The
podcast. House of the
podcast.
Dragon, Season 2, Episode 7, The Red Sowing. To find previous episodes, go to thousandeyespodcast.com. You can also find us on YouTube, A Thousand Eyes in One Podcast. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, we're on Twitter as Thousand Eyes One, Facebook and Instagram, A Thousand Eyes in One. If you're interested in our speculative fiction book club, that is Wine on an Empty Stomach on Instagram.
Wow, there's only one episode left.
I know, we've reached our penultimate episode. I will say I did not like the title.
No, I don't either. It should have been called Dragon Seeds.
That's what I said. I was telling Brian, I think this one's either going to be called Dragon Seeds or The Sowing.
Yeah,
The Red Sowing just doesn't hit the same.
it just doesn't. Or maybe it could have been the Black Sowing.
That would have made more sense than the Red Sowing.
I gotta say, as a penultimate episode,
I mean, I guess red because people died, but
oh, yeah, but we already
the
did
sow
the Red Wedding.
it should have just been The Sowing.
Yeah, you can't do the Red anything again. It's been done. We had the wedding. We don't want to. We know no repeats. Real quick, I meant to mention this last time. One of my favorite like little Easter eggs of the episode, besides the fucking lions, was the fact that they were playing like, the Lannister theme, like Reigns of Castamere, when the Lannisters are walking up. And yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
It shouldn't exist yet.
it should not. It should not. So, what's that word? It was asynchronistic because that did not exist yet, but they still have it. And, I'll allow it because I love a callback. Um, but I will say, as a penultimate episode, like I really have to divorce myself from what used to happen in Game of Thrones and what happens in House of the Dragon, because I think we've been conditioned to expect just like madness. And then
Yes.
the next episode is like, okay, whew.
The cleanup.
Like, the cleanup, the cleanup, and then like the cliffhanger. But this isn't like that. And it wasn't like this last season either. So I don't know why I expected it. Not that I didn't enjoy the episode, because I did. I squealed. I definitely squealed.
I was expecting something like chaotic to happen too. Like
Yeah.
I thought maybe we'd get like a bigger riot in King's Landing,
Mm-hmm. Just
or
something
some
with
type
more
of
oomph.
attack, or something like really major happening. I mean, we did get 2 new dragon riders. That's pretty
We did
big.
get 2 new dragon riders, and that last shot of Rhaenyra with like the dragons behind her. Ooh, I
Ooh,
want it as a
some
poster.
great shots.
I
There were
loved
some
it so
great
much.
shots.
Yeah. Okay.
Before we get into everything, I would like to talk about Allison and just kind of get her out of the way, because I don't know what's going
Was
on with
she in
her.
this episode? I'm kidding. It's like Allison goes to summer camp. I really don't understand what the fuck she's doing in Kingswood. Like, as far as we know, she's never been the outdoorsy type. So, like, why is she suddenly roughing it?
It's so weird, right?
It's like she's going on a spiritual retreat. Like, if she had seen like dragons or discovered something crazy while she was out there, then I'd be like, okay, this makes sense. But it's just like, if you're
She's
gonna
just kind
like
of run away from her life.
exactly. And the other thing is, like, you could have just not showed her in this episode. Hashtag Helena.
Yeah.
Like, if you just want her to be involved, then just don't show her at all.
It really just kind of made me annoyed with her.
Like, how
She
dare you run away in the middle of all this?
Yeah, kinda. I mean, it feels a little selfish considering she has one son recovering from burns all over his body and one daughter recovering from first the death of her child and now being attacked in a riot. And it's
Yeah.
like, I know she's obviously dealing with things as well, but like, girl, you can't just run off to the woods. Like, you're
Like
the
some
queen, the
animals that
queen
just like
dowager.
give birth and just leave their young. I feel like Allison is totally that vibe, but still, like, what are you doing in the woods? Like, is this to prove a point to Aemon that you can like survive in the wild and you're not like super feminine? You're not going to go and like do needlework,
It
but
makes it
it
makes
just
me
doesn't
think
make.
of sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it doesn't make sense.
It makes me think of like when Caribbean moms guilt you and they're like, one day I won't be here.
Oh my goodness gracious. You know, I just got that one recently.
Really?
I did. My mom was like, give me my kisses now. And I was like, huh? And so I gave her a kiss. And she was like, like they say, give you your flowers. And I was like, I don't think that's how that works.
I mean,
But
I
okay,
kind of see
okay,
the
mommy.
vision. I kind of see the vision.
I get
Well,
it.
Allison
Look.
says, all my life I've endeavored to serve my house and the realm, and somehow none of it matters. And that's what we were talking about last time.
Mm-hmm.
That after everything
All for
she's
naught.
done, she's still basically told to go sew in her room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so
I
now she's
mean,
living it rough in the woods.
she's run away.
She ran away from home with this Kingsguard who I know wants to go back because this is
He's
not what
just
he
like,
signed
why
up
are we
for.
out here? And like, as I'm like slicing entrails,
Like, Your Grace, I am not a hedge knight. This is
you
not what I
know?
signed up for. I am a
Ooh.
Kingsguard knight who one we haven't seen before, so I guess they got some new
Yeah,
ones.
it must have.
I
Wait, who
also
is this guy?
I also was laughing at the rats in her room since they killed all the fucking rat catchers.
You know, she's like nowhere. Would you say like nowhere is clean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing here is clean.
nothing here is clean. Yeah, man. Yeah. So bye, bye, Green Queen.
Yeah, it was weird. And then she's in the water, she's staring up, she sees a bird. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't really know what I was supposed to take from all of this. Maybe
I
I'm
don't know
just
either. It was giving
not
like
bright.
music video in the 90s, I just didn't understand like was she gonna drown? Was she gonna have a vision? What was this thing at bird with the bird? Is she gonna come back inspired? Is she at peace now? Accepting like what is it? Because honestly, if I had been, you know, so callously ejected from the King's Council, I would have gone to Old Town since I'm abandoning my children anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I would have just gone to Old Town, not the woods like some witch.
Mm.
And she's like, I don't know if I'll ever return to the city. Like, stop being so dramatic,
Girl, please. Like we already see that your hair is a mess. You're not
right?
gonna last that much longer. Like, what if you're out there and you missed your tansy tea? Then what are you gonna do?
Well, she's not sleeping with the Kingsguard anymore, so
Well, but now she's alone with one.
yeah, but Ricard doesn't seem Kristen Coley. That's an adjective now.
It's now Kristen Coley. But you make a good point. Your kid is in Burns. And like honestly, knowing the way the court works and knowing that apparently anybody has access, like they all had the VIP pass to the sick room, like and
Well, I
knowing
don't know if she
Laris,
knows that, but you do know that she does know that Amond had something to do with this. She knows that deep in her soul. Amond had something to
yeah,
do with this. You know that if Amond doesn't need you, it doesn't mean Aegon and Helena don't. And you know
yeah,
that Daron is on his way. And
on his
she's
way.
just kind of being dramatic because obviously she knows she's not going to live in the woods forever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're not going to just be a woods witch now. Like
It
stop it.
just takes one period to send you running back to
Okay?
society.
Like just stop it and go home or just go to
Mm-hmm.
Old Town or something. Like
Yeah.
get out of the woods and stop being dramatic. Anyway,
It's not like you know it because remember baby Renera when she went off into the woods because she liked to run and she like hunt, like that made sense.
yeah.
This does not make sense. Anyway, enough beating a dead king's guard.
Well, we open the episode with this beautiful shot of the dragons on the beach facing each other with Adam and Rhaenyra. I loved that shot.
Yeah.
And Rhaenyra is rightfully kind of shaken up because
She's like,
it's
who the
like
fuck
some
are you?
guy riding a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she picked up that he kind of resembled Corlys.
Well, she's no Auntie Ray. But yeah, I mean, I would be shocked. I'm like, who are you? Did you steal my dragon? And just imagine
How?
him.
How did you
Like,
steal my dragon?
like
And
I
whose side are
just
you on?
yeah, exactly. Like we are both here now. But like I was wondering, because what surprised me that she didn't say was that this was my husband's dragon.
Yes, I expected her to say that.
Like this is my late husband's dragon that you are writing currently.
Yeah. And then her council is like pissed about this too.
Well, her counsel's pissed about everything. I thought it was a really cute moment though when they just like came to understand each other and when he bent the knee. I was like, "Aw, Adam, look at you."
He's
He's
so
like, I
happy.
did not want it. The
I
dragon
don't want
chose
it.
me.
I didn't want it.
The dragon chose me, and it did. It did.
It
So
did.
he's worthy.
And even though he's lowborn, a lowborn shipwright, uh, it is what it is. The dragon chose. So
Mm-hmm.
Bartimus and the rest are just gonna have to be mad about it.
Stay mad.
They're gonna have to stay mad.
Yeah, that was a whole cute scene. I really enjoyed it. Like this, I mean, there were a lot of beautiful shots in this episode, considering, CGI, but
Yeah, of course. Well, that's why it took us 2 years to get it, right?
yeah. Um, but I mean, that meeting could have gone a lot of ways, and Rhaenyra could have reacted many ways, but I think just she's so good at keeping her emotions in check in order to find out the bigger picture. And
Yeah,
I
she
really
definitely
appreciate
doesn't
that
just
about
shoot
her.
from the hip. Like I feel like had he gone over to the Greens, that he would have been killed in the air before he could land.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. Those they would have shot him down, the air surveillance system or whatever it's called. And like imagine if he'd met Damon,
Yeah, Damon would have killed him.
also dead. So
Yeah.
yeah. He's team black, baby.
Well, because of this, Massaria tells her to look for bastards.
She's like, oh, I know bastards. There's
She's
lots of
like,
them.
stop looking in the annals, Your Grace. Like they didn't keep
Yeah,
notes on these ones.
sure didn't. Unless you were Robert Baratheon. Maybe they learned later. Yeah, but you know what? Like, can we talk about, because we might as well just talk about it. Let's talk about they're just like disgust with the fact that they're lowborn people, that they're baseborn. Like,
They gotta get over it, especially Jace. Like, don't be calling people
especially
mongrels.
Jace.
You know who you are. Like
Hmm.
we all like pretend, Jace, but let's relax. You know who you
Yeah.
are.
Well, I can't wait to talk about that. And you know who you are too. Um, but yeah, yeah. It's just like you guys are just, you need the help and you guys are not providing any better ideas. And sure, RIP Sir Darkland, but what else are you guys gonna do? And you have an example. Look, right here. It worked one time. Proof of concept. And if y'all
Right.
hate the baseborn so much anyway, who cares if a few of them die trying to ride a dragon? That's not my feelings. That's me interpreting theirs based on their reaction to the concept. Um, yeah, boo to them for being so sedity. Did I use that correctly? I hope so. I learned this new word today, guys. It was not in my lexicon.
These are the moments that I remember you were raised in Germany.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't get that one.
Well, in Rhaenyra's council, when they're popping all their shit about Adam, you can tell that Corlys is a little bit like, oh shit, that's my son. And but of
Mm-hmm.
course, when he sees them, all he tells them is well done. Like, oh,
Well, what else is he supposed to say? Like, I wanted more, but he's like, Alan Adam told Alan that he never even talks to him. So, however old Adam is, like, that's a lot of catching up to do. So, maybe just like, you can see in his eyes that he's like mystified, but also very proud to have a Valerian dragon rider, like not a Targaryen, a Valerian. And, yeah, well done is all he can say, because otherwise it's gonna let's sit here and grab a flagon and talk about it. Ain't nobody got time for that. This is not the moment for that reconnection.
no, but still, just to walk in and just be like, well done. Like, I
Well,
don't know. Don't say anything to me, man.
it's like I partially, and I kind of agree, but I think that we're selling the acting that happens between them a little bit short because it was
Oh
well
no,
done, but
a
there was a
lot
lot
was
of things that
happening
were
in their
unspoken,
faces. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. A lot was happening
Yeah,
with their faces for sure. I don't wanna complain about the acting. Not at all.
yeah.
I'm just saying, Corliss, do better. You know damn well that's your son. And now he's
Like,
a dragon rider.
and we knew that Rhaenys knew too.
Yeah. Like he's a dragon rider now. Like, say something. Say
Yeah.
something.
Ugh. Wait, can we just talk about Adam real quick then?
Sure.
Oh wait, you know what? Before we talk about Alan, I love how Adam was like, "Hey, I need to go report to duty and tell them that I got a new gig now.
Yeah. He's like, is it
They're
all
gonna
right if
have
I
to find a
quit?
sub." He's like, "Yes, yes, go for it." I feel like there was like a lot of, respect that was built instantly in that moment, as Dragon Rider notwithstanding.
Yeah, because I mean,
Notwithstanding,
Corlys isn't even a dragon rider. Your son has
sure
just
ain't.
been your illegitimate son is low key raised up higher than you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, back in King's Landing, we see that those Kingsguard from the riot didn't get killed. I thought they were beaten to death, but they are being sent to the wall for sucking.
I mean, it could have been worse.
Yeah, they could have had their hands cut off.
Yeah, they just got sent to the wall. They just get to freeze for the next however long they're alive.
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting that Iron Rod um was sharing the sea smoke rumor with Laris instead of telling Aemond himself. Why do you think
Yes.
that is?
I think that he was trying to verify whether or not that information was true. And I think
Right?
he assumed that Laris would have known already. And I
Because,
can't wait for
he's
the
like, I heard it
repercussions
from
of
a
this.
guy who heard it from a guy who's this other guy said he saw it. So he can't prove it. He doesn't have any whisper
Resources.
connections. I
Mm-hmm.
also wondered if, first, I wondered if maybe he was teasing out if Laris already knew.
Yeah. I think it's both of those things. Because he wants the upper hand and he knows that. I mean, he just watched Laris get played.
Yeah. I also thought these was several things that crossed my mind. I also thought that perhaps he was telling Laris so that Laris could tell Aemond, and then if it wasn't true, Laris would be the one who looked
Yep,
stupid.
that too. I mean, I think it was all of these things. And we haven't seen him make, I mean, all of his moves are very calculated. He's been very cautious for since we've been introduced to him on the small council. He's not brash and he's not going to do anything to risk his position because he sees what happens. People get kicked out of the council left and right. So yeah, I think it was smart of him to try to feel the situation out. But once he realized that Laris didn't know anything, like I think it still would have been something worthy of taking to the king. Just be like, hey, they're saying this, but and then Aemon would, or sorry, the regent, Prince Regent, and then Aemon would have been like, you know what, Laris, can you go check that out? Like, go follow up on that. I mean, even if it's not true, like just maybe just find that out.
I
Like
think it's
due
it's hard
diligence.
to it's hard to call it how they don't know how Aemond will respond, right?
Yeah.
Like if I tell you that I heard this rumor, is Aemond gonna be like, oh you idiot, don't come to me with stupid rumors that you've heard through eight
Mm-hmm.
different filters? Or is he worried that Aemond's gonna find out and nobody told him?
That's what I'd be worried about.
That would be more scary to me if it
Yeah,
came
I
off that way.
absolutely. And especially the way that Eamon jumps on his dragon later. I
Yeah.
was like, woo, that debrief is gonna be painful when he gets back.
And you know what? I could totally see Laris being like, Jasper, why didn't you mention it before?
He better.
And just make
He
Jasper look
better.
really stupid.
That's what I would do. Um, because yeah. Well, yeah,
While we're
that's
on
what
the
I would do.
topic of Laris and his shenanigans, what is the deal? What's the deal? What is this? So he's having the Maester make Aegon do physical therapy,
Yeah.
and it's going poorly. He's not
Mhm.
ready. Why?
No,
Why
poor
is
kid.
Laris pushing him like this? Like, what
Because he
is,
wants the opportunity to fix him or because he needs him to get back in the game. But
but he
it
doesn't need him physically well. He needs him mentally well.
Yeah, well, maybe he's just trying to build his confidence. But it brings us back to the question we've been asking all season. What
What
does
does
he
he
actually want?
want? What the fuck does this guy want?
What are his motivations?
What are you
You
up
know,
to, Laris?
like we know you want to be hand of the king, like cool, everybody does. But what is it that you want with this boy other than for him? I mean, I feel like it's obviously strategic, right?
Of
He wants
course.
Egon to feel indebted to him for being such a instrumental part of his recovery. I understand that. I understand that. But why are we pushing so hard? It's like
Yeah.
it's not just that his foot was born backwards, right? You know, it's not his foot was born. Like he survived dragon fire. You told him this yourself.
Right. You're already a legend.
You know, like it's a little bit unreasonable to be like, yo, 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 yo. No, no, no painkillers for you. Now get up and walk.
Yeah,
Walk off your
it's
dragon birds.
I I hope that whatever Laris is up to pays off in the finale.
This season, right?
Yeah. Like I just need to know because like I can't figure it out. He's too slippery for me.
It's you know, and it's funny because like obviously I don't say obviously. There were a lot of things that we knew that were coming this season, and they happened. Right? We talked last week about just okay. In case you guys didn't realize why we've seen so many small folk up until this point,
Right.
like here it is.
Hint
And if you
hint.
didn't know it last episode, you know it now. But we've been able to put pieces together, except for Laris's motivation. We are truly stumped.
Because just Hand of the King doesn't seem enough. It has to be deeper than that.
Mm-mm. It's got to be. Got to be. Like, what do you want?
Like, does he just want to see the fall of this house?
His house or this house?
This house.
This house? I mean, it seems like
Does
he
he
wants to see
hate
the fall of his
Aemond?
house too.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Does he just hate
Yeah.
Aemond?
Yeah. He
He's like, that
canceled
guy
their credit
sucks.
cards. I mean, he does. He does. But if he had just stayed in his lane, he wouldn't really have had problems with Aemond. He's the one who overstepped out the gate.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely overshot there. Let's
Yeah.
talk about Lord Paramount Oscar Tully.
Ooh, I squealed. This is the part where I squealed. I squealed when there was dragons, but this was the most satisfying part
Whew,
of the episode for me
so
because I kept
satisfying.
wondering when he was going to come back, and I knew that Damon was underestimating him, partially because Damon is fucking rude, and also because we talked about this. I can't remember if it was last time or the time before, but just how the young people in the court are trained at diplomacy, right? They're not just stupid little kids. They know that somebody's going to die maybe soon and that they'll have to take over. So underestimating them in their education, their ability to treat, it was, a huge mistake on Damon's part. And, you can forget the fact that he told him to, smother his grandfather to
I
death
don't
with
even
a
think
feather
I don't
pillow.
even think it was Damon underestimating him. I think Damon's just a dick
Well,
and was
yes, we do know that.
overestimating himself.
Very true. Very true. I'm just saying that if he had taken any of that into consideration, he would have played this a different way. But
Yeah,
now
no,
he
he
fucked up,
sucked.
right?
He absolutely fucked up in the Riverlands. He
He
sucked
fucked
at
up.
diplomacy.
He
He
insulted
sucked at
the
building an army. He just
exactly.
he just insulted everyone,
Insulted
encouraged war
everyone.
crimes. Like he's done nothing but damage to Rhaenyra's cause
Yeah.
from beginning
And they
until
know it.
now.
And the crazy thing about it is that I think that everybody sees that this is Damon acting on his own. He's
Yeah,
literally being the rogue prince. Like the
yeah.
Rhaenyra is not. And you know what? Before we talk about that, how come nobody sending word from like if Damon's not hitting y'all up, like why is nobody saying hey Harrenhal? Like somebody whisper to me what's going on in those parts.
I mean, who wants to be the person to send a message behind Damon's back?
Hmm. True. But that's what Masari is for. They still have servants.
Not many. They
Hmm.
have like two servants, and who knows if they even know Massaria.
Alice was like checking all the ravens first.
Like, do they even have a like? No, I guess they have. They must have a maester there.
Yeah, they have to.
No, they don't
Yeah.
have a
Oh
maester.
no,
That's why
they
Alice
have
is there.
Alice. That's Alice. Okay, so no male. Return to sender vibes. Got it. Um, But yeah, no, he messed up from the very beginning. He's insulting everybody. He came in, he was super rude. He did encourage war crimes, and then he insulted all the river lords when they came in, were like to their face, and was like, "What? What?" And so to have him just like on the stage in front of everybody, and for little Oscar Tully to
Yeah,
drag him.
he absolutely did. And I loved it.
Ugh,
He tells them right out, you made a mess here. Like, this is bad.
yeah.
Everyone hates you. And if it wasn't for our oaths to Rhaenyra, like, nobody would be on your side.
Exactly. And it's I love that he switched he turned the tables on him so quickly and so elegantly. He was like, "Listen, you guys, I know that you don't know me. I know that I'm young. I know that you have no reason to follow me, but hey, let's unite in our hatred of this motherfucker."
I may be young, but I'm ready.
And it was beautifully done. I didn't get a chance to watch it a second time, but like I feel
Well,
like
I
that's going
did,
in my
and it
top
was
10.
I did, and it was satisfying
I love it. I love it.
because it's like he got to say all of the things he's wanted to say to Damon that nobody can
Mm-hmm.
say to Damon. Nobody gets to say to Damon about how much
Nobody.
of a cunt he is,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets to say it because it's what like he says when he walks up to him, like, well, do you want this army or not?
Yep.
Like Damon can't just kill him.
Nope. He's not in front of all these people. He's not their Lord Paramount. Are you kidding? Because like, Rhaenyra would have to answer for the fact that they killed Damon, but like,
I also
is it really
think
lost?
I know, right? She might be relieved. Like, well, there goes that problem. I
How about those armies?
also, yeah, I loved the power move of condemning Willem Blackwood and making
Mm.
Damon execute him.
Our ways are the old ways, bitch. I
Because
loved it
that's the
too.
other thing is like you can't let him get away with war crimes.
Absolutely not.
And you obviously
Absolutely
aren't
not.
going to be able to punish Damon as much as you can like bullshit him right now and like
Yeah.
bully him a little bit. Like you're not going to be able to punish him. And Damon can just be like, I never told him to do that. I simply said get them to heal.
Yeah.
He didn't
And
say dig up their dead and carry off their women and children. Like those were not words that left his mouth. Did Damon know that's probably what's going to happen? Of course, but he didn't actually say any of that. So you know he can be like, well, and you know what? Oscar's also correct in that Willem wanted to do all that shit. He didn't have to be so savage. He was happy to have a chance at the Brackens.
yeah. Yeah.
So really, he did deserve it. Honestly, they both should have been executed.
They really should have
The
both been
ones who
executed, but that's you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it.
start execute both and start fresh. The
And he's
rivalry
just there. He's
begins
like,
anew.
yeah. Oh my God. And there he is. It's so funny because like the way that he's like wheedling at the very end, he's like, wait, 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 wait. It reminded me a little bit of Janos Slint. He's like, I've always been afraid. I'm afraid. I've
But
always been afraid.
Willem was so confident though. He's
He
like,
was just
command
like,
them.
he's
Command
like,
them.
no,
I was
no,
acting on your behalf. Command them. I'm like, are you commanding the prince to command somebody else?
no, 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 Tanya, the king consort.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The king. The
His
king.
grace.
You're commanding his grace to command some like he really
Oh man, he
it's a
deserved
bad
that death.
he deserved it and it's another bad look for Damon too because who is going to want to do dirty work for you if they know you're not going to stand by them when they get caught up for their
Exactly.
dirty work.
Exactly. I
Like
mean,
this has
all of
been a
his
bad look for
credibility.
Damon all around.
Yeah, I think it's like all his credibility is just wiped out in this. I mean, as if it hadn't been being like erased in each episode, but completely like account balance is on zero right now.
Yeah.
Um, and it makes me wonder what we've been talking about. Like Damon, you think I wouldn't even say that I wouldn't even say I wouldn't not call it a redemption arc, right? We're getting to see Damon's inner life with all his like paranormal things that are going on, and you're
All of
like,
his
oh man,
insecurities are laid
his
bare.
insecurities are laid bare, and we're seeing him like especially in the later dreams, like trying to make amends, but like the waking reality of your life, Damon, is that the chickens have yet to come home to roost,
And
and they're
also
coming in
like
this episode.
he's just a hot fucking mess. He's a
Yeah.
hot mess. He's supposed to be out on this diplomatic mission on behalf of his wife. He's quietly trying to take her throne, even if he's not saying it outright, talking about they'll rule together. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah.
not what you mean. Like,
No.
he doesn't know what the fuck he wants. Well, no, he knows he wants
Yeah.
the crown.
He
He
wants
knows he
to be
wants the crown.
king.
He wants to be king. He wants to be the guy in charge, but it kind of ends there. Damon wants to be able to just do what Damon wants to do. And
Yeah.
he doesn't want anyone to rule over him. And it really only goes that far as
And
what he
it's
wants.
and like what does being king mean to Dame? Like, I don't think we've really talked about this. Like, we know that he would be a terrible king,
Oh yeah.
right? We know he'd be, but what does being king actually mean to him?
I don't know. Because like we said before, like it's not like he has policies in mind that he wants to enact. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have a platform. He just wants
No.
to be the king because there's no place higher than that.
Yeah.
And then you can just do whatever you want. But it's like you already do whatever you want.
You're yeah, exactly. Without the responsibility, you could just fuck off whenever you want, like you are doing right now. You
Right.
couldn't do that if you were king.
Right. Well, he has this last vision. Well, I don't know if it's his last vision. It's the last one we've seen so far of Viserys now all decrepit and talking about the weight of this crown and how he never wanted it. And he asks
Mm-hmm.
him, "Do you still want it?"
Yeah. He's like, yes, please.
Yeah, right.
But it's like, but it's I love that, especially after Damon's talk with Alice Rivers, where she was like, maybe he didn't give it to you because you did want it.
Mm-hmm. And people who want it tend to not want it for good reason. The people who feel that it's their duty, it tends to be a little bit different.
You know what? Let's refer to the lyrics of "I Just Want to Be King" from The Lion King. And yeah, no, that's why. All those reasons. I want to be the main event like no king was before.
Right.
That's Damon's goal. Brushing up on looking down and working on his roar. Yeah, no. Damon, you're terrible. We do like Book Damon better, but still
Yes,
Damon
I did like
terrible.
Book Damon better, but he's pretty terrible. In the Vale, Rhaena and the babies are leaving, and Rhaena decides to run off.
Go her own way.
Exactly. Yes. To go find herself a dragon. Now, she waited until the gates closed and the guards and the babies were ahead. Does she think no one's gonna notice that she left?
Girl, I don't know. That was my big question. Like, you don't think they're gonna get to wherever they are and be like, wait, wait, wait.
Where's the babysitter?
The governess has disappeared. And then they have to backtrack.
Yeah,
How's
and
Lady Jane gonna feel about that?
no spoiler, but I think more like what we talked about last time that a certain storyline is going to be Reina's instead of
Mm-hmm.
adding in this other character.
Yeah, yeah. If we had any doubt, I think just her actions in this episode give us pretty solid confirmation that what we expect is coming.
Here, here.
Here, here. Give me beer. I want them. I want beer.
Jace and his mongrels comment. He's understandably upset. I don't think he needed to be calling people names. Like let's relax on that
How
bastard.
dare you? I
But
just,
you know, you
oh,
know, you
Jace,
know,
don't we like
you know,
really? Is that what we're gonna do this for real?
you know,
Mongrel?
mongrel
Really?
Jace, really?
Mongrel?
And he comes at Rhaenyra and he's all, "Did you think I'd have dark hair?" It's like, yeah, okay. He knows what he is. Everybody knows. He knows
Everybody
everybody
knows.
knows. He knows nobody's allowed to talk about it. But like he said, he felt that the fact that he was a dragon rider gave him status and legitimacy.
Yeah.
And
Why are you
so,
gonna take that away from me, Mom?
right. So if these other bastards get to ride dragons too, it takes away from his claim, he feels. What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
I understand where he's coming from. It was the one thing that made him special, and the one thing that was like, I don't care who you guys say my dad is. Look, I can ride a dragon.
See, I
and
feel
only
like
we could do that.
it doesn't take away from his claim because his mother is still the queen.
His mother is still the queen, but he's gonna.
It'd be different. It would be different, I think, if the it would be different if Laenor had been the person in line for the throne and
Uh-huh.
he's not Laenor's child. But
Right.
the person who's in
Okay,
line for
yeah.
the throne, you are their child.
I mean,
So,
I think there's a lot of insecurity. I feel like
oh,
this is the one thing
definitely. You don't
that
want to
was
be a
keeping him
bastard in
there, like,
Westeros.
and the one that everybody knows is a bastard, and that nobody's allowed to talk about. But you're already having to deal with the fact that your mother's claim is kind of well, is being contested right now, and you're not able to do anything. Like, you're as impotent as your mother is for the most part, and this is the one thing that gives you security. And now anybody can ride a dragon.
But not anybody,
But
you
it's
know,
just like, yeah, no, I know,
it has to
I'm
be
being
a
I'm being facetious.
yeah, no,
um
I know
but
you are. I was
yeah,
just thinking because we were talking last time about whether or not it means that it has to be a Targaryen or if it just has to be somebody with Valyrian blood because
Valerian
The
blood.
Velaryons were not dragon riders,
Yeah.
and we now know Adam is half Velaryon, meaning
Mm-hmm.
he's also half Valyrian. They gotta do something about these words. Um,
wait,
but
you
he's
don't
not
think that Ray
Targaryen.
and Rays are not enough?
Right? But he's not a Targaryen. Now, the thing
Yeah.
that's kind of different with the books is that in the books, the claim is that Adam and Alan are actually Laenor's sons, but everyone is like, we all know they're Corlys's sons because Laenor was not out here making bastards, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it would have made sense if they were Laenor's sons because Laenor was half Targaryen.
Right.
So it would have explained the dragon rider blood or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we still need to understand why because his mother, well, I guess in the show they're maybe claiming that maybe his mother was part Targaryen. I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't really talk about her. In the book she was not. But so I'm still leaning that it could be just the
Old
Valyrian blood
Valeria.
itself. Yeah, the blood of
Yeah.
old Valeria,
Yeah.
not
I think that,
necessarily specifically Targaryen blood.
yeah, I think that makes sense too. Although, like, all the bastards that they're rounding up, it seems like only Adam and Alan are the Valerian ones, which
Yeah, the
I find
rest are
hard to
all
believe.
Are
You know what I
all
mean? That
Targaryen bastards.
what was their uncle's name when he got his face chopped off?
Vaemond.
Damon didn't have
Yeah, it's
babies?
interesting. No, in the books, Vaemond has a whole family.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I guess
great
in the
job
show
writing
they
them
just
out.
yeah, they just kind of wrote them out. I think that having some Vaemond bastards sprinkled in the mix would have been a cool addition.
Oh my God, yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's just like, okay, well, Vaemon's dead. We forgot about him, but ooh, is this
By
his
the
child?
way, yeah, like what if Adam and Alan were actually Vaemons?
Oh my God, that would have been so awesome. Yeah, I'm here for a Vaemon bastard. We're not going to get it, but it would have been a nice touch, guys.
Alan meets Corlys again,
Again, we keep
and
meeting like this.
I know like you can't keep meeting like this, Dad. Um, Alan and Corlys meet up because Corlys has a task for Alan. And he says to him, well, he lets him know that Rhaenyra has a new dragon rider. Turns out to be your big brother, Adam. And Alan
I
is, of
wish
course,
there was
shocked.
more like emotion behind that.
I mean,
Like,
he stumbled back a little, like he seemed really shocked.
no, 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 not on Adam's part.
Oh, from
Not, sorry,
Corlys.
not on Alan's part, for Corliss. Like, yo, your brother is a dragon rider.
Well, I think what I got is that Corlys is really excited about this, and I think that he I could be reading too much into it. But I think that Corlys was subtly nudging Alan to go and try to get a dragon too,
Oh,
because Corlys is a very proud man and he's
yes.
lost his kids. He never got to get the
Mm-hmm.
Iron Throne. He's working towards it for his ex daughter in law.
Yeah.
And now he has two extra sons that could possibly both be dragon riders.
Yeah.
Like his heart must have leapt.
But also, like, your son saved your life, right? And he's capable, and he's like, that he's a good dude, right? So now you have a good dude son, and now you have a dragon rider son. And then what does he say, Tanya? What does he say? What does he say?
I am of salt and sea.
I stood up and I screamed because if you guys don't remember, our dear Bela was like, you know what? No, Dad. No, no, Grandpa. I don't want it.
I don't
I
want
am a
it.
blood and fire. And I was just, she's like, you need someone of salt and sea. And here comes Alan saying the same exact words. And Corliss goes,
It's
hmm.
like, wait a minute. Okay, I can do something with this. I can do
Yeah,
something with this.
he can work with that.
So it's like, I think that his heart leapt at possibly
I'm like
having two
smiling,
Dragon
like you
Rider
can't see me
sons.
right now, but I'm cheesing so big because that may have been my favorite moment of the
I
episode.
loved it. He said it so proudly too. Like his shoulders went back and his chest stood out, and you know what I mean? Like his head was high.
Yes.
Like I am of salt and sea. I love his voice too. I could just listen to him
Yeah.
talk.
He should
He
read
needs
us
more
a book.
lines. Yeah. Well, his task for Alan is for him to relay a message. This is a message from Massaria to Elinda to spread the word. We are collecting dragon seeds. They still haven't said the name dragon seed.
I'm so annoyed by that. Like, is it a copyright issue? Come on, guys.
No, they have the rights. The episode should have been called Dragon Seeds.
Yes, we firmly believe that. Take it back.
Redo.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Just
they're
change the
spreading the
caption.
word. They're spreading the word that Rhaenyra wants some dragon seeds. And Ulf's
The same
friends.
Rhaenyra who just fed you guys in the
Right,
middle of the night.
exactly. She just sent you food. Now she's looking for her little cousins to come through and see if they can
Mm-hmm.
claim a dragon. You might die, but
You might die.
still come through.
But
Now,
life is bad in King's Landing already. Like,
well, Ulf's friends are like, dude, this is your chance. You've been telling us this whole time that Balon was your daddy. Like, come on, like, go get your dragon, bro. And
go
he's like,
get a
oh,
dragon.
I would, but my leg.
And there, I love how they shamed him. Like, what, you've been drinking for free this whole time off of this bullshit claim, and you're not even gonna go rise up to the challenge? All right.
He was so scared, and I don't blame him. I'd be scared too. I don't want to face a dragon because, when you
Mm-mm.
think about it, he's right. Like, what if it's not true? Yeah, you've been
What if it's
told this, but like,
yeah,
it might not
yeah,
be true.
yeah.
We also see Hugh Hammer. So this was something I wanted to get into with you.
I don't know why my mind just said Hephaestus. I mean,
Well, it makes
it's
sense.
related. It
Yeah.
makes sense, and it's related. But like, I don't know why like Hephaestus just when you said Hugh Hammer jumped into my mind. So now I'm calling him Hephaestus.
Well, Hephaestus confesses to his wife that his mother worked in a pleasure house and
Mm-hmm.
she had white hair, more freedom than most because of who she is, and because men will pay more money to fuck a woman with white hair.
Right.
Now, the way he talks about her, he says that his mother said that he was no different than her brother's sons, Damon and Viserys. So her brother
Yeah.
is Balon, right?
Yep. Yep.
At first, I was like, is he talking about Sarah Targaryen being his mother? And I thought that at first, but Sarah Targaryen, her,
Oh, right.
right,
I
she
forgot
worked
about her.
she's in a pleasure house over in Lease,
Yeah.
but she didn't send her kids back to Westeros. She's
Yeah.
wealthy, and her bastards are like triarchy bastards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like they're not like a blacksmith in the slums of King's
Their
Landing.
children are not dying of starvation.
Right. So I don't think that that's Sarah's son. But if
I
that's
forgot all
not
about
Sarah's
dear
son,
Sarah Targaryen, who
oh, I
was like,
think
you know what? I love Dick and ran away.
I love her. I think about her all the time. I told Cinnamon Love, she posted a picture of herself at the beach with like her titties
Uh,
kind of out. And I was like, okay, Sarah Targaryen.
I love it.
I tagged her in it. It was great. But so okay, so I don't think it could be Sarah Targaryen because he was like, people will pay more money to fuck a woman with white hair. And I think it had it been Sarah Targaryen, it would have been men pay more money to fuck a Targaryen princess. Like
Yeah.
that's a bit
Yeah.
different than a white-haired woman in a pleasure house versus a Targaryen princess in a pleasure house. So if that means that Balon is indeed his uncle, That means Jaharis had bastards.
Yes.
That's the only other explanation.
Hmm.
Either that or his mother lied and Balon was not her brother and Viserys and Daemon were not her
I mean, who
nephews.
knows? Who
I'm just like,
knows?
do you guys understand the implications of what you're telling me right now?
Yeah. I mean, when he said that, I was like, wait a second. And I'd like it was like breaking my brain to like trace back who the mother could be. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna accept that he's gonna leave and do what he wants. And maybe we'll find out more about this mother situation later. But also, when you see like Damon, you're gonna be like, "Hey,
Hey,
long
cuz.
lost. What's good?"
Hey, cuz, what it do?
Uh,
Well, the word gets out. The dragon seeds have been put on notice and they begin arriving at Dragonstone. The dragon keepers quit because this is some bullshit. Dragons are sacred, and we are not about to just test out a bunch of bastards. You already put an Andal in front of them on your bullshit, Rhaenyra. We're not doing this. And they were like, bye, we want no parts.
yeah. I was really happy to see them stand up for themselves like that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. No, I was really excited to see them stand up for themselves because they're right. Like they came to raise dragons and to tend dragons for the royal family, not just anybody who happened to slip out of somebody's ball sack and become a bastard. You know, like
And
nah, they're
and the
not doing
dragons
that.
and the dragons are sacred to them. Like,
Yeah.
what are you trying to tell me that anybody could ride one?
You know, and also, how dare you? And also, you don't think the thought ever crossed my mind, but I didn't try it.
I don't think the thought even crossed their mind.
You know, just like I know I would have been mad too. I love that they had that entire conversation in High Valerian. I really, really love that because they don't want those people to know, like it's none of their business what they're talking about. And I thought it was really interesting that after they left, because like even if you didn't understand the conversation, you're like, yo, did these people just like walk out on the queen? Or like,
Right. I love that she couldn't force them, or at least she respected them enough not to try.
you know? And it's just like if you were one of the people, like one of the potential dragon seeds out here, like watching this happen, like I don't know that I would have stayed either. I would be like, oh, they
Yeah, I
think
would
it's
have
those are
left.
the people they think it's a bad idea. Ah,
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
thanks for lunch.
obviously, like, they don't speak High Valerian, so they don't know what the argument is about. But I would imagine they've seen the dragon keepers around, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know,
Yeah,
perhaps.
maybe.
And so if they recognize that those are the dragon keepers and that the dragon keepers are leaving, I think that's when I would have changed my mind and gone back home.
Yeah. Yeah. Because who's going to keep the dragons under control now?
Right. Well, so as she goes out to call Vermithor, also known as the Bronze Fury, which is a hard ass name, she just kind of like calls him by name. Here, boy. Like there's no song, there's no chant.
Dude, that's what I was wondering. I was like, is she going to do the chant? Because even Damon sang to the dragon.
Yeah. She was just like, Vermithor, come here, boy. And Vermithor's like, what? Vermithor's like,
Big
what do
ass
you want?
Vermithor. I was
He's
excited to see him.
huge. I loved it. He was so huge. Um, because this is Westeros, I knew the disfigured guy was absolutely gonna just be toast.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, put him
Cripples,
first.
bastards, and broken things.
Yeah, they don't really do that in Westeros. So yeah, they were like, fuck that guy. At first it looked like Vermithor was just gonna like pick someone out the bunch until he just
Yeah.
decided to start snacking.
He's like, you ain't worthy, you ain't worthy, you ain't worthy. But oh man, was this a long climb? Nom, 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 he was like toasting them up like s'mores. He's like, oh, ooh,
It
this one's
became a
ready.
horror movie. I loved it.
I loved it.
I love that people are falling off the ledge. People are
They're
getting
on
lit on fire.
fire.
Everyone's screaming and running. It was a horror movie, and I really enjoyed it.
I
I was
did
sorry to
too.
see all these poor small folk die, but
But there were so many more to spare.
you know what I didn't understand when they were trying to get away? Why were the guards holding them back? Like, if the dragon doesn't want them, he doesn't want them. So why force them to
Yeah,
stay?
yeah. I don't know. I feel like Vermithor was like, what is this riffraff? How dare you present me with this? I feel like I've never said how dare you so many times in my life. And this season may be the most times I've ever said it. Like more times than my the entirety of my life ever having saying used that phrase. But I would be offended if I was Vermithor. I was like, who are these people? And like
Vermithor was like,
not one
thanks
at
for
a
this.
time.
Vermithor was
Like,
like, oh, thanks for the fucking snacks. What's
you
the
know,
okay?
I
Is it my birthday?
like we didn't know this is like an open audition. Like
It
everybody's
really
just
was an
sitting in a
open
room.
audition.
Everybody just comes out and improvises. Like
Do
I
you
thought they would have done it one on one.
do you think that maybe she was trying to also just get some bastards out of the way?
I feel like if she was Damon, I would think so.
Hmm.
Um, but
Because I mean,
maybe
she knew they were not all gonna survive. There's only two
yeah,
dragons.
yeah. Maybe she's like, we don't have all day.
That's true. Time is of the essence.
But still, like,
Maybe,
groups
but
of
yeah, but
five.
maybe she was like, let me get some people out of the way of possibly uh getting a claim.
But you know what? So let's talk about when other people have claimed dragons. Like, is it a big ceremony? Because it seems like people just kind of go, it's like a one-on-one experience. The dragon chooses you. But like now that we're having like group auditions, do you think the dragons are just like, ill? This is not intimate. There's nothing sacred about this.
Yeah.
Like just you there. I think the other thing about it is like, sure, it's really scary to claim a dragon, but it feels like it's something you just have to do on your own. Like bringing a whole crowd to like witness whether or not it's going to happen. I feel like if I was a dragon, I'd be like, nah.
Yeah, I would think it would piss the
Yes.
dragon off.
you know that we're
Like just like
solitary
a,
creatures.
a
We bond to
cattle
one
call.
person. Exactly. How, what, and as you say like that, like sheep, lunchtime, you brought me lunch.
Yeah. Hugh Hammer claims Vermithor after he stares him down to keep him from eating this lady that he felt bad for, who her brilliant ass took off and ran to that doorway. So shout out to her for getting away
Mm-hmm.
because she was about to become a s'more.
Yeah, definitely.
So Hugh Hammer has claimed Vermithor, the Bronze Fury.
The Bronze Fury. I'm so happy that Hephaestus is gonna be riding like the second biggest dragon.
Yes. And now Ulf, who also escaped and steps in a
Poor
clutch of
Ulf.
and he just like steps in a clutch of eggs, which is just seems like a bad idea. You never want to mess with any mama animals, babies.
Nah, nah.
Um
This
and
dragon gets all over his foot.
uh and Silverwing claims him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like she leaned in to get booped on the nose. I was like, are you a puppy? Like, what is happening here?
Hey, let's talk about Silverwing and Sea Smoke and just like they're just
I
like, hey,
choose you.
just they're just flying around. They're
Like
like, oh my
Silverwing was
god,
like,
you're my person.
Silverwing was like, is that lunch? Oh, you're cute.
I want you. Let's ride.
Oh.
Those were my babies anyways. Yeah, that was super cute because like I mean obviously we knew, right, we knew it was gonna happen, but just to watch him just like be like, oh my god, I should have stayed in the fucking, like, why did I ever tell
Yeah, that
anybody
look
that I
on
might
his
be a
face.
bastard of the Targaryen, like, oh, I really got myself into some shit right now, everybody's dying, I'm just trying to get away.
Yeah, that look on his face where he's just like, ah, fuck. Like it's over now. And the
Man, I
next
mean, we
thing
already
we
talked
know,
about the shit stains in our pants
bruh,
when this happened, and just like I would like somebody to be like, oh, the dragon has claimed you. I see you've sold your panties. Here's new pants.
well,
Like
next thing we know, Ulf and Silverwing are flying over King's Landing,
recklessly.
just going for a joyride. Which, I mean, if I was able to fly a dragon, I would also go on a joyride. Maybe not to the place where the giant enemy dragon is, though.
Yeah, not at all. Not, I would have got like, there's so much open sea. Why are we flying in that direction?
Literally on an island, bro.
Like
Just go in the
nobody's
other
even gonna know
direction.
no one's even gonna know it's you on the dragon.
Well, while he's doing that, you hear the people yelling that there's a dragon and all that stuff, and
The
they're trying to have
scorpions
this
being
meeting.
readied.
Yeah, they're trying to have this meeting. Um, and while they're talking, they mention that Daron is on his way onto Sarian, so maybe we'll see Daron and his dragon next episode finally,
Knowing
after all
them,
this
it'll be like the
teasing.
last shot of the scene
From
of
a
the episode. I
distance.
mean,
They just never even cast anyone as Daron.
it'll be Allison will be floating in the water, and then you'll see him like fly over her, and she'll think it was a hawk, except it'll be her son that she's never met. End scene.
Maybe that's what she was thinking about when she was floating in the water. When she saw the
Maybe
bird. Maybe she
I
was
have to
like,
go
"Oh
back and
yeah, my
find out the
son."
significance of this bird.
Yeah, this deserves a rewatch for sure.
Hmm.
Well, when Aemond realizes that there is a dragon on the loose, he's like, "Fuck that noise." Hops on that horse and goes and gets that big hoary bitch Vagar.
Oh, Legolas.
And it looked like Vagar was like, "Oh, it's time to fight."
Yeah. I mean, Vagar just, I think Vagar is just always ready. I love how he
Mm-hmm.
was just like hanging out in the bushes doing his thing. He's not
Right,
even in like,
Vagar. Yeah,
he's like
Vagar
not even in the
doesn't live in
dragon
the
pit, right?
dragon pit. No, she doesn't live in the dragon pit.
She's just, being big as shit on her own.
Yeah.
Um, but like when that happened and he ran out, like the looks that they gave each other.
It's like, oh shit, should I have said something?
Should I have said something? Because, like, what do you do now? Do you pretend like you never knew this information? Like,
If
are
I
we
were
just going to act like we're
Laris,
surprised?
if I were Laris, I would be like, Jasper, why didn't you tell him? Didn't you
Yeah.
weren't you I thought I heard you saying, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would
Mm-hmm.
absolutely throw him under the bus.
Oh my God. That's, you'd have to. And then what happens to poor old Jasper?
And he doesn't Aemon doesn't know who's on this dragon. It's not a dragon he recognizes because
Nope.
who's
They all
when's
know
the
they're
last time
dragons.
somebody rode Vermithor?
Yeah.
So he has no idea who's writing it. Follows, looks like he was about to go to Dragonstone, but then realized there's
Oh no, no, not Vermithor.
Silverwing.
Silverwing.
Right.
Because if it was Vermithor, he would have been like, oh shit.
Yeah, Vermithor is huge. Well, he heads towards Dragonstone where you see Vermithor, Cyrax,
Mm-hmm.
Silverwing, and who knows who else because we know Sea Smoke is also there. But we get
Mm-hmm.
that wonderful shot of her
They're
with
off
her dragons
sniveling
behind
somewhere.
her. Yeah, we get that wonderful shot of Rhaenyra with the dragons roaring slurs at Vagar behind her. And Aemon is like,
What is a dragon slur? Please make one up
a
immediately.
dragon slur. They're like, listen here, you holy winged, uh, loose necked.
Look at you, little dove.
Look at that pigeon. Like you little pigeon lizard.
Oh, but you're like a mosquito. His
So
scales
yeah.
haven't even changed yet.
Well, it makes Aemond turn back around.
Yeah,
So that leaves
because
us
he is wise.
because he is wise.
He
So
is
now
wise.
that
He's
leaves
reckless, but he's
us
wise.
with Rhaenyra has 3 new dragon riders, but Aemond knows.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Tessarion on the way with Daron.
That makes
Um,
two.
Sunfire is done for.
Dead skis.
So
Doesn't Helena have a dragon in the book?
yes, Helena has a dragon.
And doesn't she love to
Um,
ride said dragon?
yes, but we never see her ride a dragon in the show.
She should really do it. It'd be good therapy. I would rather see Helena like losing, like deciding that fuck this, I'm getting out of King's Landing and going on her dragon than
She should
Allison
go to Old
wandering through
Town.
the woods.
She
Yeah,
should
it's
be able to
crazy
go
they
to
haven't
fucking
sent
Old
her yet,
Town.
honestly.
Like she could use a break.
Otto's like, I'm not taking the weird one with me.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, Helena's dragon is Dreamfire, but we haven't seen Dreamfire. So we don't know as far as the show, we don't know if Dreamfire is like a dragon ready to fight. We don't know how big she may be.
Yeah.
They have Dreamfire, they have Vagar, they have Tessarion, and that's it, right?
Yeah. No, I don't think they have any other dragons.
So now Rhaenyra has Cyrax, Caraxes,
Maybe.
allegedly, uh
Vermithor,
Vermithor,
Silverwing,
Silverwing,
Sea
Sea
Smoke,
Smoke, and uh
and
Vermax.
maybe a big ass dragon
No, but
in the Vale.
Vermax, Moon Dancer. Who
Oh
else?
yeah, the babies. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, that's
No,
Jace and
Jace,
Baela's.
Jace, and Baela's dragon. So yeah,
Yeah.
I lost count, but
Yeah.
more than them.
Yeah. So they've got a lot of dragons and they've got that big one.
Yeah, and then
That's
Reina with
pretty
her
fucking
maybe
big.
mystery dragon.
Right. Right.
I would love to be the last shot of the dragon like bending its neck to her.
Ooh, that would be fun. Well, that was the
Mhm.
whole episode. What do you want to see next week? How do you want this to wrap up?
I want Reina to get a dragon. I want to know where the fuck Daron has been. I want to see him. And I want some hint that the Northmen have moved on.
I was just about to
Where the
say
fuck are
that
the
I would like for
Winterfell
the Northmen
graybeards?
to arrive. And now I have a feeling that we're not going to see them till next season. That's how long it's going to take them to walk.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're staying true to the timeline.
Yeah, right.
Um, I want Allison to come back from her vacation, her fucking boy, her
Her
Girl Scout
her
camping trip.
glamping.
Glampy Allison
Allison
out
just
there looking a bond
glamping.
of friend, best
Yeah.
friend. Mhm.
And
Never
there
too
goes
late,
the
guys.
Sanderson reference.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I love a cliffhanger ending. I love something that's gonna make me stand up and scream at the end of the episode and be like, "Damn, ah, oh
Well,
man, let me watch it again. That was a great season."
it feels
That's
like
what I want.
the blacks have been beaten down so much this season that finally nice to see them have the upper hand.
Yeah, yeah, I'm enjoying their come up for sure, for sure. It's like everybody's getting what they deserve. I also want to know, like, where, like, are we gonna see FC? Like, where's Kristen Cole? Is he gonna show up at Harren Hall now? Like, what's gonna happen with
Well,
that?
the march from Old Town is happening, so we're probably gonna meet them on the road somewhere with Kristen Cole.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably gonna meet the Old Town Army. We're probably gonna get some movement in the Riverlands.
Is it Kristen Cole who ends up meeting Daron first, maybe?
Maybe.
Because like
Or does
if I
Darren
was
just fly
Otto,
directly to King's
well,
Landing?
I don't know, because if I was Otto and I was involved in this Old Town Army marching, I would want a dragon.
Yes.
I
Yes.
would want a dragon for protection. So I feel like he has to stay with them.
Yeah, stay nearby and just kind of
Mm-hmm.
hover, I suppose.
I wonder how big his dragon is.
I don't know. Well, hopefully we find that out. We only have one more episode.
Whew, there's so many. That was she said that just held back. But yeah, yeah. One more episode. Wah!
I know.
But
I'm so
also, you know
sad.
what? I'm sad, but I need a break. I want my Mondays back. Um, I'm just like, I'm so excited. And I know a lot of people feel a lot of different ways about this season and the way that it's unfolded. But, you know, other than Allison being in the woods and maybe one or two other things, I've been very happy with how I'm like, I'm not upset at the pacing. I love like the constant parallels. Although I think it's interesting now that in this episode, Allison's like, gone all feral and Rhaenyra is getting her shit together. It's
Hmm.
like for once we see it's the opposite, right? They're not both doing they're not both being trampled on by the men in their lives. They've both been like, okay, I'm going to exert some autonomy and try a plan of my own. Fuck what you think. I'm just going to do what I want. And so that's cool. But I don't know. I feel like his pacing was really good. I want to see more, and I feel like because we know that there's so much more left to Dance with the Dragons, that
So much more.
so
Like, oh
much
my
more.
God. I felt like we got so many things in these few episodes, but the story has barely moved. Like
Barely
like
begun.
we've still barely started the war.
Yeah, yeah. It's not all out yet. Because you guys, it's gonna get better. There are gonna be more dragons and more dragon fights, and just more destruction and intrigue and notable deaths. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm here for it. I'm ready. I do need a break. I will be completely honest about that. But I love the season. I do. I love, and you know what? It's just like the thing we've talked about this in almost every single episode, but the acting throughout this season has been just so excellent. There is only one character whose acting I am not a fan of.
And that
And
would
I'll just
be
leave it at that.
okay.
I'm just,
I know who it is. You said it
you know
last
who it
time.
is. I told you last time. I was like, we're gonna talk about this off air, but you know who it is.
I think you may have
And
said it on air, but it's okay.
oh, well, I stand by my opinion. I'm doubling down on the fact that I do not enjoy it and it pulls me out of the world when it's happening. But other than that, other than those performances, like everything else has been really great. I feel, you know, I never thought I would feel empathy for Egon. Like never, never. But that's such a brilliant performance. I never thought that I would hate Damon more than I possibly could. And good job. I hate Damon more. I never thought that Otto Hightower would be like, I would look at him and be like, oh man, they really screwed you over. You know, like
I
you're an
miss
asshole.
him.
I do too. I miss Otto. I would have thought that, you know? Actually, no, there's a second character whose acting I'm also not pleased with. I take that back. So there are two. Um, but just watching everyone, you know, like shout out to Auntie Ray and watching Corliss and his sons, like that really I don't know, like there's this the undercurrent of like hate and abandonment that's flowing that they're able to maintain. Just everything, everything.
I just really hope that we don't have to wait another 2 years.
I'll wait another 2 years. I don't mind. I mean,
I
I
don't want
would
to wait
rather
two
not,
years.
but I don't want them to rush it. And Wheel of Time is going to be back. So
I know, but like, there's so much story to happen,
and
and I want
Stormlight
it.
5.
My God, I have so much to read, dude.
Me too. I haven't read any of the
Actually,
secret
I don't.
project
Someone
stuff.
at today asked me like, well, "What am I gonna do when the season's over?" And I just pointed at the stack of books on my desk.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to do when the season's over.
And I gotta finish Interview with the Vampire.
Oh my God, me too. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing when the season is over. Now that you guys have asked, we're going to be doing that, and we'll be doing a 30 Tuesdays about Interview the Vampire, TBA. Don't know yet when that's going to happen. We are going to do 30 Tuesdays about S197.
And we still need to do
We
our
are going to
makeup book club for Elantris because we had to
make a book club
cancel
for
it.
Elantris. Yeah, my bad. That was me. And yeah. So we do have good stuff coming up, and there will be other things to take you through the summer if you're gonna miss us, because we do shit all year round. But I'm gonna miss the show. I'm gonna miss the show. But you know what my favorite thing about this is, Tanya?
What?
Is that rewatching this show from season 1 all the way through season 2 is not giving me anxiety, and it's not like projecting depression at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who you are. You took that from me. You took it from all of us. And we'll never forgive you for it.
You bitch. I've been Tanya.
I'm always Nikki.
Ta-ta for now. To find previous episodes, go to thousandeyespodcast.com. You can also find us on YouTube, A Thousand Eyes in One Podcast. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, we're on Twitter as Thousand Eyes One, Facebook and Instagram, A Thousand Eyes in One. If you're interested in our speculative fiction book club, that is Wine on an Empty Stomach on Instagram.